This is Pat Soundbites Unplugged. Unplugged. The podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
Well, yes, Pat Calamari here. Welcome to Pat Soundbites Unplugged. Today, November 21st, 2019, episode number 6. As I continue to move forth in sharing many of my recent interviews, or as I like to call them, chats, straight up conversations with many incredible artists, and today is no exception. As a throwback Thursday, let's not go too far back. Let's go back to Wednesday, November the 6th, where I had the honor and privilege to speak again with the amazing Vivian Campbell of Def Leppard and Last in Line. Now, this chat on the 6th was used to promote the Last in Line show that occurred the following night in Milford, Connecticut. And what a great show. Now, just a quick brief history of this supergroup, and I'm going to call them a supergroup. Last in Line, heavy metal band formed back in 2012 by former members of the original lineup of Dio. The band's name comes from the 1984 Dio album, Last in Line. Following the death of Dio frontman Ronnie James Dio in 2010, the original lineup of drummer Vinny Apathy, bassist Jimmy Bain, guitarist Vivian Campbell, keyboardist Claude Schnell reunited along with vocalist Andrew Friedman to perform the Dio songs they originally recorded. Now, sadly, on January 24th of 2016, bassist Jimmy Bain died while on Def Leppard's Hysteria on the High Seas concert cruise promoting the Last in Line debut album, Heavy Crown, which officially was released the next month in February 2016. Now, following Jimmy's untimely death, the band recruited the incredible Phil Soussan as its new bassist. Phil is an incredible bass player, songwriter, and has played in numerous bands, especially known in playing with Ozzy Osbourne. Phil played on Ozzy's 1986 album, The Ultimate Sin, and co-wrote the classic single, Shot in the Dark. So Phil is a polished, well-known musician, and let me tell you, just an overall great guy to hang with. Now, additionally, let me note that keyboardist Claude Schnell was not used on the debut album, Heavy Crown, for whatever reason. I really don't know. Now, overall, I just love these guys, and I love this band. And as of this recording today, beginning next Tuesday, November 26th through December 14th, the Last in Line band will embark on a tour across the pond, performing in the UK, Belgium, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and the Netherlands. Now, you can go to their website for all the latest news at lastinlineofficial.com. They're on Facebook and all that stuff. You can check out their tour dates, and I encourage you to buy their albums. Check out their debut album, Heavy Crown, and I just love their latest release, Last in Line 2. You will certainly not be disappointed. Okay, so there you go. Enough said. Please enjoy. Share my podcast, Pat Soundbites Unplugged, with all your friends. And without further ado, here is the great Vivian Campbell on Wednesday, November 6th. WBXO Classic Rock Redefined in conjunction with Pat Soundbites Unplugged. Honored to have once again a phenomenal guitarist. Not only plays in one super band, but he plays in two. I don't know where you find the time, Viv. Great guitar player, great friend, our man Vivian Campbell. How are you, Viv?
I am very well, thank you, Patrick. Yeah, it is hard to find the time. I gotta say, it's getting to be busy the last couple of years, and I'm sure next year will be no different. But we're really trying to take Last in Line to that next level, and you got to put the work in, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, the travel is always hard work, especially at that level, but it's great fun as a guitarist to be able to play in two great bands,
Yeah, no doubt. Before I get into any of the questions and get you asking about Last and Live, and certainly a few about your great band Def Leppard, first and foremost, how's your health? I know you had recent back surgery in early October, and then you're a survivor fighting this whole cancer thing back in 2013. And I can't even imagine, standing on stage and playing with a possible back injury or a spine thing going on, and the travel back and forth. How are you making out? That's the most important question I would have for you, because we love seeing you and love to hear you playing and doing what you do best.
Yeah, it's the back thing. It's my second back surgery in 6 years. Actually, it's a bit of a family issue. My brothers and my sister, my father, we all suffered from that. Anyway, but it was something I was dealing with since May. Chronic sciatic pain, and I just kept getting worse over the summer when I was working with Def Leppard. So it had to be done. It went under the knife. I managed to take a week off, and which I think is about the minimum amount of time to recover. But so I've been taking it very easy, and then the other guys in last in line, they've been, lifting my suitcase for me and stuff, and so they've been helping me a lot. And it's been just over 5 weeks. Actually, it's 5 weeks today since I did the surgery, so I can do a passable impression of a human being, So I don't let anything other than a Les Paul and a cold beer.
There you go.
And the cancer stuff, I'm back here in California at the moment. As soon as we get off the phone here, I'm going to the airport to fly to Connecticut for the show. But I did another infusion on Monday, and I did a PET scan and stuff for the lymphoma. And that's, it's, to be honest, the hardest part about it is the scheduling, for doing the infusions and the scans and whatnot, and the travel involved to do that. Obviously, I do treatments either in Los Angeles or in Boston at Dana-Farber if I happen to be on the East Coast. So it's all good,
Well,
it keeps me out of trouble.
I pray for you all the time, my man, and I'm so glad and thankful that you're able to stay healthy and make it all work out. And you're a hero fighting this thing and dealing with what you do, and then dealing with your job. I mean, you're a hard worker and you're constantly busy. I'm sure you got to put on a schedule one of these weeks. I need a vacation so I can hang out with rock star Stewart and your wife, and just to chill out for 5 minutes, man.
Someday.
Well, Viv.
No, I love my work, and there's a saying. I think it was actually Rick Nielsen was the first person I heard say this. They don't pay me to work to play guitar; they pay me to travel.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, as Viv mentioned, Phil, Vinny, and Andrew coming tomorrow night to Milford Performing Center in Connecticut. They got 4 shows here in the East Coast. If you can't make that one, you can go to the Club One Entertainment Complex in Massachusetts, or the Debonair Music Hall down in Teaneck, New Jersey. And then they round everything up in Pennsylvania before they head over to Europe. I mean, last in line, you guys kicked ass in Poughkeepsie. It was incredible. I love the idea that you guys came up with this concept that a fan can do the ultimate VIP experience and perform on stage with you guys one song, whether they sing or do drums. I mean, that's just totally insane, and certainly somebody's bucket list. Has anybody really floored you that you look at the other guys going, holy crap, man, they were good?
Yeah, there's been a few guys. There was one guitar player in particular in California, Northern California. I think it was near Sacramento or San Jose or something. And it was right after our album came out this past February, the 2 album. And I think the album had only been out a week or maybe less than a week. And this guy wanted to play Year of the Gun, which was the song. And so I was well impressed by that. I mean, obviously the guy's a quick study, it's interesting. Well, what's particularly interesting is actually when somebody comes up and plays drums with us, because no 2 drummers play alike, and you get so used to playing these songs with Vinny.
Right.
Vinny's such an exceptional drummer, and so every drummer has a slightly different feel, and that can be very off-putting, actually, playing with a different drummer when you're expecting something else, So there's a lot lot more to it being a musician than just playing the notes. You know, there's a lot. You know, everyone's got a unique style and a unique feel and imprint that they bring. You know, so it's quite an interesting study to play with so many people, you know.
Yeah, no,
you learn a lot.
I love the concept. It's got to be. I love. There was a guy on YouTube. He obviously videotaped his performance, and he was a drummer. And I just love Vinny's, his mannerisms. Watching this guy on his drum kit and watching you guys. That's great. Well, I love you guys, and you mentioned some of your music. You know, a lot of bands are so nervous about putting new stuff out, and you got a large catalog of tracks, you know, from the DON and from Heavy Crown and Last in Line 2. And I thought you guys did a super job of mixing it all together. Some bands just get nervous and maybe they feel comfortable maybe throwing in one new track, but you guys mix it up so well, you know, Black Out the Sun and Devil in Me and Give Up the Ghost and obviously Landslide. I thought it was a great mix. So you mentioned maybe a third album, and I don't know when you find time to do this. Maybe we'll do the Vegas thing when you were out in Vegas. I don't know, but looking forward to more of that. Is it the theme the same type of like in Last in Line 2, Viv?
Yeah, and expanding on that, I mean, I think we're getting very, very ambitious with our writing. You know, as we did on the 2 album over the first album, which was Heavy Crown with Jimmy. You know, ever since Phil's been in the band, it's I think we're stretching more. You know, and we're starting to find a sound that's. You know, we're taking some chances. You know, we're experimenting on some stuff, and Andy is such a flexible writer. You know, that he's able to write a melody across sometimes what are very unusual sort of musical progressions. You know, and riffy, like more intricate and stuff like that. So we're definitely pushing ourselves for. I'd say at this point we probably have. 80 or 90% of the music done for the record.
Wow.
But, I mean, obviously, you know, Andy's got to do a lot of work and write a lot of the melodies and lyrics and stuff. But he's very, very quick with that. And we're hoping to start the record in January, February. You know, we are going to be looking for a new record label, so that's an exciting thing for us as well. You know, we've done a couple of records with Frontiers. And we did not renew our contract with them, so we're in negotiations with some major players. So that'll be exciting for us next year, you know, to do a new record and be on a new label and hopefully get more of a global reach. You know, it's all part and parcel of the hard work. I mean, we've been working, as you noted, very, very hard for the last few years with Last in Line, you know, and it'll be nice to actually, you know, take it to the next level.
Well, you mentioned 2 things, and I got to say, I was always a big fan of Jimmy Bain, and I didn't really know Phil too much, and I fell in love with Phil, and to see him perform live with you guys, his personality, you could just see the chemistry really was a great fit for this band. So that's my take from an outsider. I love Phil to death, and it was great. You mentioned about switching labels, and I know all the headache you went through with the whole Dio thing and getting fired and not getting paid. Was there any thought of maybe you guys, I mean, you guys have been around, to form your own label so you don't have to worry about that kind of crap? Of not getting paid and stuff like that? Or is it just easier to find somebody to, you know, just handle that task since a lot of you are working on different stuff?
It's not about the money. I mean, there's really not a lot of money in records, even for a band like Def Leppard. You know, I mean, there's very, very few people who sell a lot of records nowadays. Maybe if you're Adele, something like that. You know? It's more about getting music to people's ears. I mean, that's the hardest part. Is you know, distributing music and promoting music, and that's the reason to go with an established label.
Okay.
You know, it's in large part, you know, when you're a musician, the music itself is a reward. You know, you create something beautiful, and if it means something to people and it resonates with people, then you've done your job. You know, I mean,
Yeah, and today it's like you gotta like put out a video. We live in such a visual world, and you said it. You could do. I get 10 CDs a week, and I would tell my wife to mute the TV and listen to the song, and we would both agree it should be a top 10 somewhere. But not everybody has the flexibility like I have to play it constantly. I'm the minor leagues, but I'm still at least getting it out there for you. But I see more and more. You gotta when you release the song like Landslide or anything. You got to right away spend the money to do a video because we're in this age. Who would ever thought,
Yeah, that's absolutely, and even when you do a video and a record and whatnot, we're competing, we're in a very entertainment-heavy age, with 3 million television channels and the internet, and everyone's got a smartphone. Everyone's, we live in a niche world. Everyone kind of focuses on what is of interest to them, and the hardest thing, like I said before, is getting new music to people's ears, making people aware of it, and then actually getting your music to the kind of people who would want to hear it, and thus promotion, and it can be difficult, it can be a challenge, and it's a constantly changing environment, there's all sorts of new platforms come along every year or two, and you've got to kind of adapt, the one thing that will never change is, live music. I'm happy to say, that's one thing that, you can't package it,
Right.
Yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say you're to a point where it's all about live music, where you're able, like we just talked about, to play a couple of the new tracks and get it out there. So, I certainly 100% agree with you, Viv. How's our man Rockstar Stu doing?
Stu's doing great. I look forward to seeing him and my lovely wife. I actually get to go home for 6 days next week before going to Europe. And Stu's doing great,
Oh man, he cracks me up. The things I was hoping he'd come to the show tomorrow night. He wasn't in Poughkeepsie. I want to get a picture with this guy.
No, he doesn't do club tours, Patrick. He only tours with Def Leppard.
Oh, sure.
No,
well,
he only stays in expensive hotels, flies first class. Stadiums. He doesn't show up for the cheese sandwich tour.
He doesn't like the Holiday Inn. He wants the Ritz-Carlton, huh? Yeah. Well, good for him.
Exactly, yeah.
Before I let you go, just touch upon Leopard. You just did double duty out in Sacramento. And I'm sure you've done that before with some of the European tours, festivals. Was that a little crazy to try to remember? What am I doing now?
Yeah, it was a busy day, because I sound checked with Leopard, and then sound check with Last in Line, and then had to go to a meet and greet for Def Leppard, and then up straight on stage with Last in Line, and then I realized that I hadn't sung in about a month, so I had to do some vocal warm-ups before the Leppard show, because that's a big challenge in that band, is our live vocals, So it was a very, very busy night, but it was great. I was really pleased with the performance of both bands, and I was also exceptionally pleased with what appears to be really solid feedback from people who were at the show who enjoyed not just Def Leppard but Last in Line, so that's very, very satisfying.
No, definitely Last in Line. You guys are gaining so much momentum, and the hard work is paying off. You're constantly out there now. You're going to hit Europe not too far behind here in a few weeks. I always say to folks, Leopard's a whole production, vocal. It's its own little, I don't want to say animal, but it's its own little world compared to Last in Line, which I think gives you more options. Phil takes most of the lead with Leopard, but this gives you more guitar playing, and I think it's probably a big benefit for Leopard for you to be able to go back to your roots and do what you do in both bands, no?
Yeah, I think that's true with what Phil does with Delta Deep and what Joe does with Down and Out's his side band. Right. It's nice to be able to go off and do something else, something different. And then when we come back to Leopard, we're not only playing and singing better, but we're kind of coming back fresh to it, and to do something different. For me as a guitar player, I really absolutely feel I'm at the top of my game. I don't think I've ever played as well in my life, and obviously that's due to the intense amount of work I've been doing with Def Leppard and with Last in Line, and as you mentioned, I get to stretch out more as a guitarist in Last in Line, and it's
Yeah, no doubt. All right, I got to let you go, Viv. I've spent enough of your time. You got a busy schedule. One last thing I see, two of your favorite bands. I'm not a great fan of the Rock Hall anymore, but I got to say, it's great to see that Thin Lizzy and T-Rex are at least nominated, you know?
Yeah, I just got my ballot. I just opened it the other night. I haven't really gotten into it, but this will be my first opportunity to vote, and it is amazing that, you know, those two bands, and they were so influential to me. I mean, Mark Bolan's what started the whole thing going with me when I was 9 or 10 years old. I mean, that's what set me on the course of my life, and Thin Lizzy were such an influential band. I mean, I saw them so many times. I opened for them with my first band, Sweet Savage, dozens of times, you know, in Ireland and in England, and I knew Phil not terribly well, but, you know, I got to spent a lot of time with them. I learned a lot from watching them, and so yeah, it's amazing that I get to vote for those guys. So you can be guaranteed that those guys are getting my vote.
Yeah, well, they're gonna definitely get mine too, and it drives me crazy. Those great bands that here we are talking in 2019 are, you know, on the ballot. They should be in a long time ago, but that's another story in itself. Viv, I can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Come everybody to the show at the Milford Performing Center. You can catch them on go to their website, lastinlineofficial.com. Check out all the dates, buy their album, buy their music. Can't wait to hang out with you tomorrow, Viv. Get a quick picture and maybe roll the dice again.
Absolutely. Look forward to it, Patrick.
Okay, Vivian Campbell on WBXO. We are classic rock, and we are redefined.